Welcome back into another episode of FA's World. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. But let's go ahead and get right into it. We are doing the Raw review episode. Raw kicked off with CM Punk. He cut a promo that was eventually cut off by Paul Heyman, who walked right out to the entrance ramp. And it was followed by Seth Rollins' music, who came out with Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins cuts a promo. Him and Punk go back and forth, and then Rollins would send Braun Breaker into the ring to attack CM Punk. Him and Breaker would go on to attack CM Punk until Sami Zayn came out to try and help him. Sami Zayn would get attacked, of course, and then get thrown out of the ring. They would go back to trying attacking CM Punk, and Jey Uso would show up to make the save. Um, they would get Punk out the ring, go after Jay, and then um, Punk and Sami Zayn would get back into the ring with chairs, and this would get both of the both of the men to retreat, and Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker with Paul Heyman. They retreated back up to the entrance ramp to end this segment here. After this, we get to our first official match of the night, Penta versus Chad Gable. Great back and forth matchup between these two guys. And of course, Chad Gable is not dressed in his Grande Americano outfit. So, of course, once again, he loses to the Luchadors. So, Penta picks up the victory here. And then we get a backstage segment with the Judgment Day, followed by a backstage segment with Sami Zayn and CM Punk. CM Punk is sitting down. Sami Zayn walks up to him, and we find out that they are going to be. They talk about teaming up at the Saturday's main event against Seth Rollins and Braun Breaker. So huge tag team match set for a Saturday night's main event in a couple weeks. Can't wait for that one. Um, Up next, we get back to the ring action with American Made versus the War Raiders. The New Day has come out for commentary on this matchup. The New Day would get involved in this matchup, assisting the American Made team and having them pick up the victory here against the War Raiders, furthering the War Raiders and New Day storyline here. After this, backstage, we get Seth Rollins with Braun Breaker. Seth Rollins is cutting a promo in Braun Breaker's ear, of course. And then before Seth Rollins walks off, he tells Braun Breaker there's one last thing for him to do, and then whispers in his ear for his next task. And then Seth Rollins ends up leaving. Jey Uso is shown with Adam Pearce backstage. It looks like Pearce is telling him something. We're not sure what is going on as of yet. And then Jey Uso is shown walking off, making his way towards the ring. His music hits, and he makes his way down to the ring area. Um, he cuts his promo on his match coming up with Logan Paul, and this leads to Gunther's music hitting. Gunther makes his way down to the ring, and he says to Jay, "You don't want to tell the people what Adam Pearce told you." And he goes and lets everybody know that June 9th, um, whoever wins the match at Saturday night's main event will be facing Gunther at that Monday night's Raw in Arizona. Jay, of course, fires back to end that segment. And then backstage, we have Gunther's old running mate, Ludwig Kaiser, um, set to do a promo or cut an interview real quick. However, this is cut off by being shown with Braun Breaker finished off Jey Uso in the backstage area. So Jey Uso is now laid out. Sami Zayn and CM Punk, of course, come to check on Jey, and this leads us back into the ring with Finn Balor and Carlito and JD versus AJ Styles. The Judgment Day, of course, tries to get involved, but Penta shows up and takes out Carlito and JD, which leads to AJ Styles picking up the victory here. After this, we get Becky Lynch in the ring. She cuts a promo on her match from Backlash with Lyra Valkyria and hypes up some more action between these two women down the line. Lyra Valkyria, however, did not show up this week, so I'm sure she will be there next Monday night to respond. After this, we get a vintage from Rusev, and then in the backstage area, we see Tozawa with Adam Pearce asking for a match against him. Adam Pearce tells Tozawa he's not cleared at this moment, so not right now. Sheamus walks in, and Tozawa walks off. Sheamus asked for a match next week against Grayson Waller, and Adam Pearce makes the match. So it is official. Next week, we will see Sheamus versus Grayson Waller on Monday Night Raw. Up next, we are set for the main event. Julia and Roxanne Perez versus Rhea Ripley and Io Sky. Great women's tag team action here. Winners of this match were Rhea Ripley and Io Sky, and towards the end, right before Raw cut off, there was a quick, brief little stare down between these two women. So we know something's cooking up and brewing down the line between these women as well. I'm not sure when that's going to be, possibly Money in the Bank, um, but we shall see. At this point, Julia and Roxanne Perez are most likely on their way back to NXT, and hopefully we'll see them down the line back on Monday Night Raw or on SmackDown at some point. But if you guys want to, make sure you guys check them out on NXT for sure. These women put on one hell of a main event on Monday Night Raw, so shout out to them for that. And can't wait to see what's next for all these women. And can't wait to see what's next for the next Monday night. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button down below. I'll hit y'all with the SmackDown preview later on this week. And just remember, this is Hefe's World, and you're just living in it.